We've been out and done some shopping today, Tracy and, Pat and I. Tracy's at home. Just a minute, she got back tea time yesterday from, can't think of the name again, in Wales, on the coast. Aberystwyth, eventually. I don't think it's going to be. They went to the university there for Leithia to attend an open day. I don't think that one's going to be suitable for her, by all accounts. But Tracy's got today off, and we've been chatting, and we've been and done a shop. And I thought, ooh, what am I gonna say to you all today? And I thought, I wrote down, how have we adapted to life on the road, Pat and I? Remember we decided to sell up in 2016, didn't we? Initially we bought static caravan as a base, but didn't like it, so after 15 months we sold it and bought the motorhome. So that was about 2018, and we've been living in it ever since. But we've used Tracy's home here as a base. You already know about that. So how are we finding it financially? Well, our £240 a week seems to be going less further each week. It's obviously, with the state of the financial situation in this country with rising costs, we've felt that it's hit us in different ways. I mean, for instance, a pub. You go out for a meal in a pub now, and you're talking about £16 a person for a meal. Drinks, £3 each. You add that together for 2 years, it's 38 quid. So you're a couple of pound off 40 quid. So if you stay on a site behind a pub, I mean, we have stayed on some places, I'll tell you, and I have seen people turn up when places have closed, not pubs of course, different places, where it's free to park but you use facilities, and they've turned up when the place was closed and left before it's opened, so they've had a free night without paying for anything. But I can't do that. If I stop at a pub, I've got to, buy a meal in there. I mean, sometimes if we didn't have enough, we'd buy drinks in there, but we've never done that. We've always bought a meal. So it's not something you can do very often, staying behind a pub. But they are scattered about. There's plenty of them scattered about. Whereas it used to be a lot less. We could get away with it. 20 quid, 25 maybe. It used to be, but not anymore. The cheap sites, either CSs or CLs, whether they're affiliated to either Camping Caravan Club or Caravan and Motorhome Club, they're getting dearer. Cheap ones tend to be all grass pitches. So we found that we can't stay there in the winter when it's wet, because we get stuck. So they're only available really in the summer. Sites with hard standings without a hookup are getting to be near on 20 quid a night now. Whereas sites like that used to be anything from 12 to 15 pound. And that goes for hard standings in car parks, getting a bit dearer. But at least there are hard standings. It means that you can only stay 2 nights at the most in the winter because there's no sun. So you run out of power after a couple of days. You have to drive. When we were on the Isle of Man, do you remember when we were on the Isle of Man? We stayed in Ramsey for 2 weeks and never moved while the TT was on because we had blue sky every day. But in the winter you can't do that. So we found that out. So hard standings with a hookup, you're lucky to find them at 20 quid now. They're generally getting to be more than £20, unless they're in not so popular areas. If you're getting out of the way areas, all right, you can find them, but definitely over £20 in popular places. These are all the negative sides of it that I've encountered over the years. Tablets have become increasing irritation to us. We find it very difficult to get our surgery to prescribe us with more than a month's supply of tablets. They're not happy to do it, and to get them to do it, you have to just push and push. If you were following us recently, when I got that chest infection, I tried to get some antibiotics, being out and about, but couldn't do it. So it's interfering with us, the tablets, having to come back to Leeds every month to get tablets. We've been to a lot of locations now, been to many places, and when you've been to places more than once, twice. I mean, I'm not one for going. A lot of people like routine. They like going same places every year on their holidays, and they like their favourite sites that they go back to. I've never been like that. And as we've travelled around all these places, I'll show you a map of my phone. Not all of the places we've been to are on it, but quite a lot of them are. You can see it gets under restriction of tablets, means that if we stay at Tracy's longer than a week, we only stay a week, we've only got 3 weeks supply. If we stay 2 weeks, we've only got 2 weeks supply, so we can go less distance because we've got to come back. So we get to see similar places travelling down the same roads, and it gets less and less exciting. We do feel we should support Tracy with costs going up by staying here, because as you know, when we stay here, I pay Tracy what I would have paid for the week if we were out on the sites. So it's an help to Tracy financially. And with it costing, you know, gas and electricity and mortgage repayments, interest rates, I just feel that I like to help her out by staying more than a week. And once again, that means that we eat into our supply of tablets, so we're restricted by how far we can go. They're the negatives of how we're doing it, living in a van. So a lot of you think you're not living in a van at all, because we spend as much time here as we do on the road? Maybe it's not quite as much, but maybe that means we're not entitled to be regarded as van lifers. But on the positive things, I wanted to make a note of some positive things. We've learned how to live in a van. We've learned all the little idiosyncrasies of our van and how it operates, how it works. And we know how to use the van in the summer and in the winter. We've learned how to do that. Pat and I have never had problems living in a confined space together. When we worked together for years and years. We've always got on. We don't get on one another's nerves at all, even in a confined space. We never have. We get more, when we're out in the van, we get more exercise, the Pat and I. We walk, we see places that, we have seen places that we would never have seen if we hadn't have done it. If I'd have not sold up, we'd have still been in Brig, and I would have been thoroughly bored, because I don't get bored here. And I would have done if we'd have not sold up. But we've seen places we would never have seen. We've met people we would never have met if we hadn't have done it. Yeah, and even if you're driving, you're going somewhere, you're experiencing things. You're not sat surrounded by the same four walls every day. We're out experiencing life, even if we're only driving, so we don't get bored. And of course, all the YouTube channels, all the YouTube vlogs that we've made. Over 1,000 YouTube vlogs with more than 500,000 views that we've had. We average 2,000 a week, about 2,000 viewings a week on average. So that's another interesting aspect of it. So that's just a little video on how we've adapted, what did I call it? What did I call the title of it? I wrote it down. How we've adapted to life in a van, life on the road. So I thought I'd just do a little video about it. Okay, folks. See you again. Bye.